Oh, no.
Antonio Banks versus the Ebony Playboys in a handicap match.
Oh, no. What did you do?
Bam! Right across the back of his head.
Hard as you can?
Busted his head open. That white mask had a spot on it. It was about the size of a 50-cent piece. Bam! Across the head. Threw the chair out the way and blasted him with a Japanese forearm. Boom! Before we open up, I just want to say, we record these episodes 3-4 at a time, and then they're released accordingly. So Xmas hasn't happened yet, but I have a special Xmas gift for you.
Ooh, oh, right on.
Yeah. And I made the point earlier to the crew here on set. I said, smiles, everyone, smiles. And I'm so old, nobody got that that's Mr. Rourke, Fantasy Island. Smiles, everyone, smiles. You never watched Fantasy Island?
I think I know what it is.
That plane.
The plane boss, the plane?
Yeah,
that's all I know.
When he first comes out, and everyone smiles, everyone, smiles, because the guests are coming.
Oh.
The OGs, now, if you remember Fantasy Island and Mr. Rourke, go ahead and then leave it in the comments. But now, we're in the spirit. Speaking of spirits, follow me to my locker, Playboy.
Let's go.
Monte Cristo. You know how we get down.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bing. My boy Jake came through.
Oh.
Got my name on it. He ain't even take the tape off of it yet.
Hey, this 2020 is good for your boy. I see what age that is right there, my brother.
Yamazaki 18.
Oh.
Ask and ye shall receive.
Merry Christmas.
Another day, another dollar as I holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans. I love walking through the airport, taking pictures, shaking hands. Every day for me's an oyster, crack it open, find a pearl. I love the way I live is what I holler to the world.
Welcome back to Marking Out with MVP and Dwayne Swayze.
I'm Montel Vontavious Porter. MVP. Mr. Porter, if you're nasty.
Come on. Now, I know that one. That's Janet. I know that one.
All my gray beard references.
Yeah, Mr. Porter, if you're nasty.
If you know, you know. Leave it in the comments. If you know, you know.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing really good, man. I'm feeling really good. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed a really nice sativa before I came over here.
Okay.
I don't have any of that. I'm almost falling asleep indica.
Right.
Got a nice little brain buzz. I'm feeling good, and we're about to be feeling really good in just a moment.
Y'all see this 18?
For those of you who are regular viewers, you saw how he tested me a while back. Disrespected my locker here at my speakeasy because I ain't have any 18 in it. How many bottles of 18 you got in your locker?
One.
Touche, man.
Right. Man, so before we get started, man, I know you like to put a little money on some of the fights. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you happen to check out that Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua?
The clown show. Listen, let me say this, man. Like, no, I'm not necessarily a fan of the Paul brothers from their YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. That wasn't for me. They were just young boys being idiots, and they made a lot of money as a result. What they've gone on to do, you have to respect to some measure, no matter what you think of them. Logan has become a phenomenal professional wrestler.
Facts.
His athleticism, his persona, he gets it. He's exceptionally good. If he wants a long-term career at the WWE and transition from YouTuber to professional wrestler, it appears that he could definitely do that and be somebody who is respected as a professional wrestler, not a YouTuber who just was moving.
Right on. You know? Right on.
For Jake Paul, I've always said, was brilliant, and the people around him for marketing his fights the way he has. And those of us who know something about combat or who are adjacent to the combat world, or even if you really train, you know that he was typically boxing wrestlers who are very good boxers. MMA fighters way past their prime. And even then, to say that, you want to say that, almost like it's an insult to him, but I don't know too many people that could go and box an MMA fighter past his prime and beat him,
right,
let alone knock them out. But he was smart about how he did it. What I respect most about Jake Paul, not his boxing, because that's nothing to respect there, except that he puts the work in to do it. However, the one time he boxed a real boxer, Tommy Fury, he lost.
Yeah, lost.
But I respect greatly what he's done for promoting, for paying people, for getting other fighters paid. And this is kind of ties back to pro wrestling. Back in the day, when the NWA champion came to town, the house went up. All the wrestlers get paid off the house. Or used to. Back in the day, that's how it used to be. You get paid off the house. So normally, let's say you get, 5,000, 6,000 people at the weekly, sportatorium show or what have you, But when the champ comes to town, the NWA champion's in town, you got 10,000 now because people coming out to see the champ, So back, it was always a thing where all the other guys on the card would say, hey, thanks for the house, champ. Because everybody's going to get a little bit more that night because the champ is in town. So in that case, kudos to Jake Paul for thanks for the house, champ. He's getting a lot of people paid. On top of his clown shows, he's got real boxing matches up underneath. And you got to respect that. Like, oh, shit, wow, okay, give flowers where they're due. I couldn't beat that man boxing, so I'm not going to, but I know enough that I'm not a fucking boxer. So for him to step in the ring with a powerhouse and a legitimate champion like Anthony Joshua, I don't know where that came from for him. Like, was he overconfident? Did he have that, what does Kanye say? The confidence of a mediocre white man?
There's no way that he could have thought that he would have beaten Anthony Joshua, but it was Tank that pulled out, right? Or Gervonta Davis, he was supposed to fight. Yeah. Now, in those odds...
Not way different because of the weight class. Now, I don't know if he would have been able to hit him, which was the interesting part there. Defensively, I don't know if Jake would have been able to hit him. He would have got hit, but I don't know if he would have got hit enough to be hurt. He stepped in there with a monster.
Yeah.
A legitimate monster.
Where it took just one hit.
Yeah. And, I'm not disparaging that man at all because he had to know.
He had to know.
Or maybe that's what it was. He had to know. I need to know, where am I at really in this thing? I'm going to step in here with a champion who is bigger than me, stronger than me, and has way more experience than I do. And let me see where I'm at. And somebody posted a still of Joshua smiling. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that was like, you silly boy, or, oh, I got you now. I don't know what it was, but that smile, it was unmistakable. So I did win a little bit of money, but I missed my big money. I bet on Joshua by KO in the third.
Okay.
But Joshua by KO.
Right.
Because a lot of people were saying, oh, no, it's going to be fixed. And, he's going to, he's not going to be allowed to knock him out, or he's going to have to take him so many rounds. And no, I think Joshua didn't know exactly what he was doing. He said, let me see where he's at. Let me see, check his fight. His fight computer was in. He goes, oh, okay, he can't hurt me. I'm good. You know. All right, let me go ahead and wear him down. And when the time was right, he said, okay, got him. Boom. And I think we should all thank Mr. Joshua for keeping us from having to listen to Jake Paul say anything for the next several weeks. But at the end of the day, kudos to, like I said, to Jake Paul for getting people paid.
Yeah.
A broken jaw for $90 million?
Right on. And you don't have anything to do with this company? Because MVP Media, I believe.
Yeah, I need to talk to the people. Hey, man, you gimmick thieves. No, but seriously, I was, if nothing else, you have to be impressed with Jake Paul's willingness to step into the ring with Anthony Joshua. That was, I used to say all the time that I had a friend many years ago who was brave to the point of stupidity. So I'm like, yo, kudos, man. But again, $90 million, I'll fight anybody for $90 million.
No, right on.
Bare knuckle. I'll fight anybody for $90 million.
When he goes down and he was like, wow. Like he felt that power.
He knew. He was like, but he knew early on. Early on, I saw one of those shots that whiffed. And you could tell he was like, ooh. Right? This is different. This is different, man. So, yeah, but I missed my big money. I bet on Joshua KO in the third.
Okay.
And if I would have hit that, I probably would have hit for a couple grand. But I got my KO with not much, I didn't win much on that. But if I would have hit that KO in the third, then it would have been a nice little payday. But as a matter of fact, we need to be on that. Let's talk a little bit more about our fight picks.
Yeah.
Because, wrestling, MMA. As a matter of fact, you can bet on pro wrestling in Japan. I mean, it's run by the Yakuza, so be careful. Be careful where you get your information from. But, yeah.
So what about Andrew Tate?
Oh, he got his ass whooped too.
He lost.
He got his ass whooped. He didn't just lose. He got whooped.
But the guy that he was fighting can't. Well, I don't know enough. I know I saw the guy.
I know he's from one of the reality shows, Lonely Island, or I don't know, one of those. But he whooped him. He whooped Tate. He didn't beat him. He whooped him. Let's say whooped him. Tate's eye was swollen, cut.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
And it's funny because I saw a meme that was kind of funny. Because you know how Jake Paul kept going to his knees. And then Tate was doing the same thing. So there's a still of both of them on their knees. It's like, man, And there was another one where Tate was on his knees with his head and dude's groin. And I guess Tate calls himself Top G. And they said Bottom G.
No.
It's like, hey, man, if you're going to run your mouth, you better be able to back it up. You don't talk all that talk, you better be able to walk that walk.
Right.
Which is one of the beautiful things about being a heel. You talk all of that talk, knowing goddamn well you can't back it up, But you talk the talk, And that's why people want to see you lose. People want to see Jake Paul lose.
Yeah.
People wanted to see Mayweather lose.
Yeah,
People wanted to see Tate lose. And there's a difference. Mayweather is an all-time great because he talked that talk and he walked the walk.
Backed it up every time.
Nobody could whoop him. Everybody the money was in seeing him lose. But he didn't lose. Paul, Tate, they talked that talk, but couldn't walk the walk. So there's a humble satisfaction of being like, that's what you did. But with Mayweather, that's why he got so rich, because the next guy will get you. The next guy will get you. Yeah. I'm going to pay to see him lose. Nope. Same thing with the Leprechaun. My boy,
UFC guy?
Yeah.
Hell, I can't even think of his name right now.
Conor McGregor.
That's it.
He talked that talk. And that's what everybody loved, because he was talking cash shit out his ass. But he won.
Yeah.
And he beat some bad people. And along the way, he got his ass whooped. He got humbled by my man Diaz. He got humbled by Khabib. And I love when Khabib was whooping him. Talk now. Huh? Talk now. Talk. He said, hey, it's just business, bro. It's just business. No, fuck that. Talk now. Talk now. So, but that's the thing. You wanted to see Conor lose. That's the money. And in pro wrestling, that's the thing. That heel, you want to see the heel lose. And at the end of the day, babyface wins. You go home happy. Heel's done his job. And I think we covered the fights.
Right on.
Spin. Hold on. I noticed this week we don't have Fiji. Fiji's my brand. We got Saratoga. But I like Saratoga.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say.
I washed my face with this.
That's why his skin has that glow. I just wanted to say, we are at this episode, we're how many months in now?
I think 8.
8 months? 8 months into the podcast. Because of you, we have gone from taking about 6 weeks to hit 100,000 views to doing it in about 3 days now. You know, and it's because of you. We want to thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Please continue to subscribe, like, comment, share. And I also want to make this very important point. This space right here, you see that reserved? It's reserved for the highest bidder. See this bottled water right here? We drink Saratoga. And I personally like Fiji. But if you want to pay for this spot right here, your bottled water, if it's good enough, don't send us no tap water in a bottle. Could be right here, featured. And we could be drinking your bourbon, possibly tequila, no vodka. I don't hate vodka, but that's not what So having said that, all right, let's talk a little wrestling.
So you often talk about how things change. Yeah, I got a whiff of it. Yeah.
One day you'll understand.
One day soon. So you often talk about how things have changed over the years, you know, and how there used to be gatekeeping back in the days in wrestling. Discipline being handled in the rings rather than in a locker room. Have you ever been in a position?
Well, it was locker room discipline being handled in the
ring. So have you ever been in a position to where you had some disciplining happen in the ring?
Only once. And it backfired. So I've often said, I've been in the business long enough now that I'm on the cusp of the old way into the new way. And I've seen the gatekeepers, the guys who protected the locker room for people who they felt didn't belong. You weren't tough enough, you weren't cool enough, you were a little weird. Whatever the case may be, you had people that just decided, we're going to run this guy off. And back in the day, it was just kind of how they kept wrestling, pro wrestling. You can come around and, you want to be a pro wrestler, and they beat the hell out of you. And if you came back, okay, beat the hell out of them again. And if you came back, all right, today just stretch him a little bit, and we'll start bringing this guy along little by little. Back in the day, people would get smartened up until after they had been around for a little while and be like, okay, this is how things really work.
To the actual talent?
Yeah. Back in the day, if you wanted to be a pro wrestler and you showed up, you'd get beat up. I mean, going back.
Yeah.
But I mean, as early as the 70s, they were still doing that.
Damn.
I don't think Sabu and RVD knew that the Sheik was working. I think they both thought it was real when they started training. I think they told those stories. So that's how it was. They tried to run you off. You had to really, really want to be a pro wrestler. So a lot of the time, if you had young guys who were disrespectful in the locker room or unruly or a little big for their britches, every territory, back in the territory days, had at least one or two guys that were disciplinarians. You'd have that old shooter, stretcher guy that, you ain't want to lose the belt. And you see you're booked against this guy, that means you're losing the belt tonight. Or if you've been acting up and then, you see your name's booked on the card against this guy, you're like, oh man, what did I do? A more recent example of that was the APA. If you had been fucking up and you saw you were booked against Big Ron and JBL, oh man, what did I do? And that was the way the boys kept disciplining the locker room. We kept discipline amongst ourselves as much as possible. And it worked for a long time. And then WWE became corporate. And now you got shareholders to deal with. So these are incidents that can't take place anymore because the corporate world doesn't understand locker room discipline. And I will be the first to admit, sometimes I think it got out of hand with egos and whatnot. I think some people who could have drawn really good money got run off. When I came into the business, things were a little different for me because this wasn't my first time away from home. Like, I was introduced to the business by a former prison guard.
Right.
And I started training a few months after I came home from prison. So I was wired a little differently. So I understood the hierarchy and, respect and veteranship. I'm cool with that. But what I didn't understand was you disrespecting me because you're slightly above me on the totem pole in this fake fighting shit. You got me fucked up. Like, I'll respect your tenure or whatever, but I'm a man just like you.
Right on.
So when we were first coming up in South Florida, there was a wrestler out of Jacksonville, and I will say his name, Larry Hamilton. That's his name, Jacksonville. And he was a fake preacher. I say fake preacher because he was a preacher, whatever, deacon, whatever. But we called him Lion-Ass Larry because Larry used to lie. He used to lie to us, man. And we were at Duke the Dumpster's wrestling school. And Bill Brown, who ran FCW, which our school was supposed to be attached to his promotion, never used any of us. So we'd be there training all the time, but weren't getting booked to work anywhere. So finally, I think it was Prime Time. Shout out to Prime Time.
Daryl Davis.
I think he was the one that reached out to Larry to get us booked. And the first real wrestling show that I ever did was, I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember what his promotion was called. But we all drove to Jacksonville, and this is our first dose of Lion-Ass Larry. We were supposed to have the hookup at this motel that he knew the people, and we were all supposed to get this cheap rate. And the motel was called Admiral Benbow's. Admiral Benbeo, famous English admiral. And it was worse than a Motel 6.
Yikes.
Motel, like, whatever the lowest level is, Admiral Benbow got to be below that.
Okay.
And when we got there, we talking about our special rate from Larry Hamilton, and these Indian people looking at us, who? Bloody who? Lion-Ass Larry. Live. Them people ain't know him. We ain't have no special rate. And even then, the rooms weren't even $50. I think it was like $30-some a room. Something ridiculous, like filthy. Like, I wouldn't, nah. And then, we did the show. It was our first show. And again, like, he had a promotion, but he was a really raggedy, I hate to say ghetto, but it was ghetto. It was a ghetto-ass promotion where they didn't, like, put a card out ahead of time. It was just, they looked to see who showed up, who they got, and then they would just make matches and
all right.
people out, And at this point, we're just young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, wannabe wrestlers, and our mentors, Prime Time and Ram Man and Alex G, like, they knew Larry. They had wrestled for Larry. And Larry at one point had wrestled in Puerto Rico. Now, when we were coming up, Puerto Rico was still a territory that you could go to, that you had to go to if you wanted to come up. Like, most of the guys wrestling in South Florida were wrestling for that opportunity to go to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Puerto Rico, you're a full-time wrestler. You're wrestling 4 or 5 nights a week. You're getting paid, $500-600 a week, whatever it was, depending. You had a place to stay. You were wrestling full-time. And Larry used to tell everybody he was going to get them to Puerto Rico. Larry told me, I remember, he looked me in my face and said, man, Carlos and Dutch seen them tapes of you. They can't wait to get their hands on you, brother. You ain't ready yet, but as soon as you're ready, we're going to get you there. And I'm like, really? Man, by the time I got to Puerto Rico and I met Dutch, man, I ain't never seen you before in my life, man.
Oh, come on, Larry. Dang.
Lion-ass Larry. Lying. Larry lied so much. I forgot brother's name now, man. But he was like an OG when I started. But Larry told him that he got him booked in Puerto Rico. This guy grew up in Puerto Rico. His dream was to wrestle for Carlos Colon. Not WWE.
Right.
Carlos Colon, Capital Wrestling, I think. And he flies himself out there.
He booked his own trip.
Well, he thought he was booked, but he flew himself out. And he shows up, he's got his bag, he's in the locker room, and he's like wondering like why nobody's speaking to him. He doesn't know what's going on. And somebody finally asks him, why are you here? Who are you? And Invader, the one who famously stabbed Bruiser Brody to death, he was Booker. And the story that I heard was Larry, Invader says to brother, who are you and why are you in my locker room? He said, well, Larry booked me to be here. And Invader said, amigo, I am the booker. I did not book you. Larry lied to this man and told him that he had him booked. He flew all the way to Puerto Rico
Home,
thinking he's going to finally wrestle in front of his hometown crowd, on his whole dream's going to come true. Man, Larry should have been done with then. But somehow, Larry was left to continue his lying ways. And the business, we always say, you drive 500 miles for a hot dog and a handshake. We did that for real. From Miami to Jacksonville, we got paid a Pepsi, a hot dog, and $5. That's what we got paid.
From Larry?
From Larry. A Pepsi, a hot dog, and $5 was our pay at that point. But Larry was always, man, we're going to get you to Puerto Rico, brother. He sent us one time money orders for money that he owed us. I got a $15 money order with dates on the back. We going to Puerto Rico. We going to Dominican Republic. We going to the Bahamas. We got all these dates lined up. And Larry had a list too. And I used to mock him behind the boys' back and behind his back to the boys. And I would say, yeah, brother, we got y'all booked in the Bahamas. We got y'all booked the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, the 32nd, and the 33rd. Larry used to be lying, dog. So one day, we had a show that was supposed to be in some parking lot or some shit. And at the time, me and Punisher, shout out to Eric Weeder, he was one of those dudes, when he walks in a room, he looks like a wrestler. He was like 6'6", 6'7", 300 pounds. Like, he looked long hair. He looked like a pro wrestler. And because we were both jacked up, they had put us together as a tag team for a little while. I wasn't jacked like he was jacked, but I was jacked. We're driving to the show from Miami to Jacksonville. We get to Jacksonville, show's canceled.
No.
Nobody thought to call us to tell us that the show was canceled. But Larry had TV, a local access channel. That was his TV. And Larry decided that since we was coming up here anyway, we could just cut some promos so he can get some promos for TV. And I remember thinking to myself, man, that's the most rude and disrespect. Like, you ain't paying us shit anyway. And to just be so frivolous with our time. And Eric was hot. It was like, man, fuck this shit, man. But, so we got to cut promos today. Good.
Oh.
I got some material. I got some fucking material. So I cut a fucking promo, and I was all gassed up too. And I remember I said something about, I held out my arm and I was like showing the vein. I said, when you take I-95 all the way to Jacksonville or something, talking that talk. But I went in about, I just did time. Time is extremely precious to me. So don't be frivolous with my time, because wasting my time could get you wasted. Or some shit along those lines. I was letting them know.
Is Larry right there watching this?
Not Larry, but one of his stooges were.
Okay.
So when we wrapped up, everybody, oh, great promo, brother. Oh, y'all got some great promo. Blah, blah. But Larry and this dude, Tim, who was his booker, so Jerry Curl and having this lame ass. Him, Tim, and somebody else take me in a different room. And they tell me, hey, brother, you got a whole lot to say, and you ain't even been in the business a whole year yet, man. At this stage of the business, I wasn't even talking yet. I just kept my mouth shut. And they basically telling me that just deal with this shit and shut the fuck up. To which I was like, I'm a professional. You're supposed to be professional. We're supposed to take care of each other, professionally speaking. What you did was unprofessional. So don't talk to me about being unprofessional when you were being unprofessional. They didn't like the fact that I had the audacity to just not take the verbal beating and go, okay, yes, sir. Like, if I was wrong, okay, you're right. No, you dead ass wrong for this. And then try to tell me that, no, okay. So we left that day, and I was like, man, fuck this shit, man. Now, it pains me to say this, but you know how our people can be. I hate to say that, but
Yeah.
Because,
damn it, Larry.
Larry, lying ass. So the next time we're booked on a show, a bunch of us ride up there. We get to the Kennedy Center, brother. We're gonna raffle at the Kennedy Center, baby. And it was full, but it was the projects. Like, all the projects come out. So there's Bebe's kids and everybody else. But great fans, though. They there to have some fun. So everybody's got a match but me. And in this situation, we got a little issue because my boys who we came from wrestling school together, Big Steve, John, rest in power, Sugar White Mike, something's up. How come you don't have a match? Now let me introduce you to the Ebony Playboys.
Oh.
Puckwood and Savage. When we were in wrestling school, we would hear about the Ebony Playboys because Prime Time and Alex G, they would talk about the Ebony Playboys. They stiff, brother. They stiff. Man, them dudes stiff. Oh, boy, the Ebony Playboys, they mess you up. They stiff. So they were like the boogeyman to us.
Okay.
And the first time we shared a locker with them, Savage was cool. Savage was dark complected, had that kind of Richard Roundtree look about him, quiet. Puckwood, the light-skinned one, making us light-skinned people look bad. And he had the big mouth. Rah, 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 rah. Just the loudest, most obnoxious. And we some young dudes from Miami, like he would try to, crack a little joke on us or whatever, and we fire back and, oh, you got something to say? Oh, Alex, these rookies they got something to say? Oh, and like, yeah, I got something to say. You ain't gonna shine on me, and I'm just gonna, so we kind of introduced ourselves, and we're respectful, but we ain't no fuck boys, But that was our introduction to Puckwood and Savage. Okay. So, through time, we'd hear the stories about Puckwood and Savage. We never had to work with them, but we just heard the stories about them. Today, I find out I'm in a handicap match.
Whoa.
Against the Ebony Playboys.
Oh, no.
Antonio Banks versus the Ebony Playboys in a handicap match.
Oh, no. What did you do?
I had the audacity to speak up for myself on that day when they canceled the show and had us come up there for Access TV promos. We ain't get no money for gas, nothing. A day wasted. But in the grand scheme of things, I gained a lesson. So once we find out that I'm in a handicap match against the Ebony Playboys, my boys get mad and they're like, yo, what you want to do, man? This is for me. Thank you very much. But I got this. Now, if y'all see me getting the shit beat out of me, don't help me, but I got this. And I see Larry and Tim and whatever that dude's name, they standing in the hallway talking conspiratorially, hushed whispers. I'm like, okay. They finally, hey, brother, we got a good opportunity for you tonight. We're going to showcase you a handicap match against the Ebony Playboys. Like, okay, sounds good. Yeah, let's do that. And remember, this is 26, 27-year-old MVP.
Okay.
I've only been out of prison a few months now. Maybe a year. I might be 27-ish, But I'm on the gas. I'm jacked. I ain't scared.
Yeah.
So Puckwood comes and sits down next to me in the locker room. Hey, brother, what you want to do tonight? The correct answer, what every rookie should always say to a veteran. Whatever you'd like to do, sir. Well, what can you do? So, Alex G, he's my trainer. He'll vouch for me. I can do whatever you need me to do. Well, we just gonna brawl. How about that? That works for me. So, all right, then, I'll see you out there. And he stops and he goes, hit me, because I'm going to hit you. And he gets up and he walks away. Okay. You asked for this now. So the discipline was underway. My boys, hey, man.
So they saw this? They saw this interaction?
He's in the locker room in front of everybody. He's grandstanding.
Okay. Oh,
we on the yard. He's punking me out. Puckwood trying to punk me, right? Okay. No problem, sir. So we go out there. Introductions are made. I'm Antonio Banks. And I'm outside the ring. And it's a lot of little kids. Babyface kids was everywhere. And I'm talking to them. And I get hit from the blind side so hard that I literally saw stars. No. I got rocked. I was like, damn. I turned around and he kicked me in the stomach with the point of his toe. Now, in pro wrestling, if you notice, we always kick with the flat of our foot. We put it in there, but it's safe, the flat. That toe is a different situation, I got kicked in the stomach with the toe. You know when you get hit in the stomach really hard where you feel like you almost want to throw up?
Yeah.
So hard. So I'm still seeing stars and I'm feeling that kind of nauseous, like, oh shit, I've been punched, kicked in the stomach really hard. I'm down to 2 knees. Puckwood rolls in the ring. Oh, and they used to wear white singlets. I think they had like the butcher strap, I think. But I knew they wore white singlets with furry boots.
Okay.
And white masks. So they had like the lucha mask, but white with black.
Fully covered.
Fully covered.
Okay.
Now they used to try to do like the old Assassins gimmick. I don't know if you're familiar with the Assassins, but they were a tag team where they were same size, same height. They wore full body suits and masks. So they would tag in and out, and the ref couldn't tell who was who.
Who was who, all right.
And that was part of their gimmick. They were cheap like that. So, but it didn't work for them because one is like Bobby's color and the other one is like my color. But the ref can't tell who's who. Yeah. So that shit was just dumb to begin with. So Puckwood rolls in the ring and he stands up and he starts going, you was a playboy or you ain't nothing. You was a playboy or you ain't nothing. You know, he's posturing. And I'm shaking it off. He just left me out there. So we was at this recreation center where they had the seats with, you know, the plastic seats with the stainless steel legs.
Oh, yeah.
Not folding chairs. I told it, Shorty, let me get this chair real quick. Excuse me. Watch out, little man. I reached over the barricade and I pulled that chair up. Puckwood had his back, talking all that shit. Savage he's watching me. Savage is watching me come to the ring with this chair. Savage ain't say a word. I don't know if Savage is like, what is he doing? I got in that ring with that chair and I swung that shit and I crowned Puckwood. Bam! Right across the back of his head.
Hard as you can?
Busted his head open. That white mask had a spot on it. It was about the size of a 50-cent piece. It was about the size of a teacup. It was about the size of a dinner plate.
Blood.
Cracked it with that. Swung the legs first. Blam! Across the head. Threw the chair out the way and blasted him with a Japanese forearm. Boom! Rocked the fuck out of him. He fell backwards. He was like, he's up, young blood. He's up, young blood. Yeah. He rolled out the ring. I rolled out the ring right behind him. Blasted him again. Bam! He said, hey, he's up, young blood. He's up. I said, we working or we fight? We working or we fight? So we working, young blood. Bam! We working or we fight? We working, young blood. We working, young blood. Threw his ass back in the ring. Followed him behind him. He tags out to Savage. I'm ready. Savage comes in. Savage is like this.
We working.
We working. We working, bud. Puckwood tags back in. All right, it's time to go home, brother. Time to go home. So the deal was they were going to beat me, but be heels and cheat. So he takes a piece of metal and pulls up his mask some kind of way where he slides it like on his head to give me a headbutt with the metal. And he didn't tell me what the finish was. But my first thought was, why would that hurt me and not hurt you?
Yeah.
But okay, no problem. So, all right, we go, brother. He gives me the headbutt. And I staggered back into the ropes. I did the boss man sell into the ropes and came right back to him. He said, we go home, young blood. Took the finish one more time into the ropes. Nope, not yet. Come on, young blood, we go home. So one more time. 3 times. Hit me with that shit. Then I went down. Boom. Covered me. 1, 2, 3. Ding. Okay, I roll out. I go to the locker room. I'm ready. My boys back there, they hype, but they're proud. They're ready. I hear Puckwood coming to the back. God damn, that boy good. Why y'all ain't tell me he was that good? Damn, why he can work? Hey, Alex, why y'all ain't tell me? Hey, damn, why you ain't tell me you that good? Man, I ain't know you can work like that, man. Meanwhile, he took his hood off. His shit's leaking. So I'm glad you're happy with my work, Puckwood. I'm glad I enjoyed that very much. Thank you. Damn, brother, you good.
Wow.
Sorry about your head. Oh, man, don't worry about that. Man, don't worry about that. And I looked over and I see Tim and lion-ass Larry Hamilton standing there like,
yeah,
that's not what you thought was going to happen, was it? You had the wrong motherfucking one. Not me.
So there was no discipline then?
No. Yes, there was discipline.
Uh-oh. Your side.
I meted out discipline to the Playboys. Don't be disrespectful to the youngsters. We ain't having that bullshit. Right. I don't know what you used to, But me, ain't doing that. And that's the only time that I was ever subjected to in-ring discipline. But part of the issue with that is I'm a big believer. I got bullied when I was younger. I'm a big believer in the fact that you only get bullied if you allow yourself to be bullied. When I started fighting back, I don't get bullied anymore. I mean, yeah, it's still you go through the process of having to take those ass whoopings, but eventually the bullies realize, nah, this don't fight back. Let's go fuck with somebody else, you know? So I saw people get bullied. In the WWE locker room, I saw people get bullied. They didn't stand up for themselves. I hate to say it, but those that got bullied, they didn't give an accounting of themselves. Be like, man, fuck that, run it, what's up? You know, they would be. And it's a shitty situation to be in because you don't want to get heat with the veterans. You don't know if you're going to get in trouble. And it's, you know, it's a shitty test to have, but I just feel like, and I guess the feeling back then was how far are you going to let somebody go before you say, nah, fuck that.
Right on.
And nowadays that's gone. That doesn't exist anymore. Mostly good. I think there are some times that people need a little discipline in the locker room. People a little too big for their britches, disrespectful to the game, to veterans who have been around. Like
HR can't handle everything.
Yeah, but nowadays everything must go through HR, you know. So there's a locker room altercation. It has to go to HR because these are corporations now. So it's a different game. And I'm never about bullying, fuck bullying. But I guess that's part of it because of the things I had been through in life. Nobody bullying me. I'll go get someone to crack you upside your head if I feel that the size advantage is too much, you know. But, you know, there's even a few times where I saw somebody getting bullied. And, you know, the circumstances were such that I didn't have enough cachet yet to intervene on their behalf. But when I was invited to get in on the bullying, I declined. And I said, hey, everybody else has had something to say. How about we give blank an opportunity to say what he wants to say? And I'm trying to like, dude, I can't take your heat for you. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon with the heat, but I'm going to try to give you an opportunity to, you know, dog, say something, speak up. Don't just, yes, sir, I'm sorry, sir. Like, that one dude, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to put him out there like that. I like him a lot. He was a good dude. But he was getting bullied in the hotel bar. And they sent for him. And he came down, and his girlfriend came with him.
Oh, no, bro.
And it was like, you know they sending for you, dog. You know they sending for you. So just tell your lady, hey, baby, let me handle this.
Yeah, that's not a place for her.
And she's there with her arms folded. She's just mean-mugging everybody. She's mad. And if you heard how they was talking to this man in front of his lady, like, nah, dog, you should have just got up and punched that man in the face. You know, but he was afraid. And work shouldn't be a climate of fear, you know, fear of failure, if anything, you know, your motivation, but not fear of getting beat up by your coworker. So, and you know, like I said, just fortunately because of how I came up, I was never worried about getting beat up, you know. And there was a few times when I was getting broken in that OGs roughed me up a little bit, tested me. And I said, hey man, this was on me, the next was on you. The next time we had a match, I gave it back to him. And they were like, okay, you're going to be all right. I told you Dave Johnson, you know, one of my mentors. He said, you're going to be all right, man, you know. So that was a game. But after that wonderful story, that was my only issue or situation that I had in my career with someone trying to discipline me in ring. You's a playboy, but you ain't nothing. And that's a wrap.
We've done it again. Episode 36.
Over and over and over and over. Or as my man Seamus was saying one time, banger after banger after banger. And man, it's Yamazaki. Yep. Hey, anybody got a hookup with Suntory Distillery? Because, I'm lying. This is Yamazaki 18, by the way. And you know, we always say, for relaxing times, make it Suntory times. I'd like to get a sponsorship deal so I could just drink get paid to drink Yamazaki. Damn. But we're keeping the spot open for the right time and the right price. Thank you so much for joining us again. Like, comment,
subscribe,
and share. And comments. We need more comments. Comments, your opinions. Do you agree with us? Disagree with us? Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with Dwayne because he's the nice guy?
Good cop.
Comments. Hit us up in the comments. And on that, see you, Space Cowboy.
I just lay back in something new. Whiskey 21 and over, low ball. Make it too neat. Dizzer from Harlem. Yeah, I'm from Houston, off of Fondren. Mike Mazan and real world flow. Plant these seeds in the streets and in weeks. Watch it blossom. Dark night, riding on chrome, swinging through Gotham. It's me and P, repaving these roads.